You're tuned in to Live on KEXP on 90.3 FM, KEXP.org, and the mobile apps, and I'm Sharlese. KEXP is a listener-powered independent nonprofit station. These sessions are made possible with support from donors like you, and I'm very excited today to welcome the drums.
And that was Better from the new album coming out this October entitled Jonny. This next track is called Obvious.
How obvious, obvious. Oh, I remember last time I saw you, you were in my bed. Oh, you were kissing me all over my body, and I knew then. Oh, it couldn't be
That was obvious from our new upcoming album entitled Jonny. And the next song is called Plastic Envelope, and there's a little extra bonus at the end, a little piece called Protect Him Always.
Oh no, what happened to you, darling? I know we didn't see it coming. I thought that I would die by your side. I thought that baby this was our life. You said a dream, so I dreamt hard. Now I don't know you anymore. There's a plastic envelope taped to the wall beside my bed. Inside a word that say you love me. Just like my heart, I don't know if I could ever hold it again. 'Cause I built my world on all your promises. And now I'm alone, 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 oh no, what happened to you, darling? I can't find love in all your talking. Last night I couldn't look in your eyes. Afraid of all the things I might find. Feeling enough to your strange heart. And I can't be here anymore. There's a plastic envelope taped to the wall beside my bed. Inside a words that say you love me. Just like my heart, I don't know if I could ever hold it again. 'Cause I built my world on all your promises. And now I'm alone, 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 There's a plastic envelope taped to the wall beside my bed. Inside a words that say you love me. Just like my heart, I don't know if I could ever hold it again. 'Cause I built my world on all your promises. And now I'm alone, alone, all the things that it took me when I was just a young boy. There's a little child that lives in me. I just wanna protect him always. All the things that it took me when I was just a young boy. There's a little child that lives in me. I just wanna protect him always. All the things that it took me when I was just a young boy. There's a little child that lives in me. I just wanna protect him always. So sweet, so tender. Still looking for his mother. He deserves only flowers. I'm healing fast as I can. I'm so sorry.
And this next song, it's our final one. These are all from the new album, Jonny, coming out October 13th. This one is called I Want It All.
I sensed a hesitation the first time that you held me. So I closed the eyes of my heart, so I didn't have to see that I was pretending that you loved me. Did you love me? And now I'm still hoping my own private torture. Keep a door open and keep a door open. And tell me, was it so hard? Tell me, was it so hard to be a little girl? Alone through my whole life, every hour, every minute. I want to relive you, but I need to forgive you. I need to forget you, but I don't wanna lose you. And tell me, was it so hard? Tell me, was it so hard to give a little tenderness? So hard, believe me, I tried so hard to keep you in my love. No. Oh, why can you forget you? Forget you. So why can you forget? Why can I forget you? Forget you. So I want it all.
You're listening to the drums live on KEXP. I'm like freaking out. I want to cry because I'm like, how did I get in a room with the drums? I don't even know. Guess it's my job. So here, we'll go with an interview. Those songs are amazing. And this whole album is amazing. I've listened to it like 3 times. I've listened to it more than 3 times, but I would say 3 times like as a whole. And it like your lyrics, I fall into them and I get blissed out by them. And I so this is my personal stuff. I hearing them live is incredible. So,
well, I feel very emotional right now too.
Yeah.
And I can just see it on your face.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like I've been listening to the drums ever since the EP, and I feel like at first I was like, oh my gosh, these are so poppy. You know what I mean? They got inside of me where I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like music that makes me happy. And then as you listen to them, it's like the things that you say and what you've shared about yourself, it just gets so deep. And I'm like, wow, like this person is really revealing so much about themselves. And the way that they say it is like stuff that I feel like maybe I want to say to someone in my family or a friend or something. So I appreciate that you're so vulnerable and willing to share these things with all of us.
Thank you for saying that.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just to your point, when I sing these songs, it's very rare that I am not getting wrapped up in what is being said. I realize I'm the one that said it, but I feel like I'm able to these days deliver a message, but also be kind of beside myself with kind of my own hand on my own back, just kind of being there for myself. And it helps me relax into the moment. And it's just a totally different experience. And as far as like being vulnerable, it was like half organic. It's just been part of what's wanted to come out. But certainly with this new album, I kind of made a strong decision to kind of step into a space that is even more so that. And I think a big part of that is I want what I do to have meaning. And I'm constantly on a search for fulfillment in my life, and I'm kind of dedicated to finding that. And I think the more honest and real I can be in the recordings, the closer I am to feeling fulfilled in my own life. So in a way, it's self-serving, but it's beautiful to see it also serving you.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that I think is something that I've been told before to do that I've never done, but is write a letter to myself, you know, because like, you know, I get sad, I get depressed sometimes, I come down really hard on myself. I've been incredibly scared to do this interview and to even host this show today. And you wrote a letter to yourself in this album, and it's so deep. And it's not even just little Jonny, that there's other parts where you're talking to yourself as well. And like, I was like, wow, like what a really hard thing to do and to present it to the world as well.
Well, it's hard in the sense that, I guess there's that part like, wow, once this is out there, it's out there, you know. Yeah. It's kind of exposing myself in a way. But I dream of a world where we're all able, like that's what we encounter every day, is that type of openness. You know, I think when we're kids, we are that open. And as you grow up, there's this pressure to come across as having it all together. And so as adults, we put on all this armor, which actually just keeps us from ourselves and keeps us from true connection with others. So I don't know. It's, you know, my friend always encourages me to lead by example, lead by example. What's the world you want to see? And so I just like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to step into this space. I'm going to do it, you know? But it's not like I pay a heavy price. You'd think I would, but it just seems to make my life more beautiful. So I think there's a big cost in not doing it, you know? So that's kind of the lens of which I see it and experience it.
So listening to the album, and not to keep staying on emotions, but
emotions are my thing, baby.
Okay.
That's my sweet spot.
Mine too. And speaking of that, so the surprise in the album to me, I love having a listening experience. But from Better to Harms to Little Jonny is, I do my best listening in the shower. And so I was like in the shower and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like wanted to start crying because the way that the keys match and the way that it flows and like how that part is like the best part of the album.
I think so too.
How did you come up with that and why, I guess?
So Better was a song that I had worked on for a while and just kind of been chipping away with, which is a new way for me to work. Typically, I would get pretty hard on myself in the past and feel like I had to begin and end a song in a day. And I took a lot of pride in the efficiency of that. But I think I at times paid a big price because I wasn't letting time kind of do its thing. And so Better, I just kind of let it happen and I would come back to it and then leave it alone and add a little more. And then kind of out of that experience, I don't know, it was like working on that song. That's a song about realizing that you're your own best lover. You're your own champion. You're your own partner. A concept that I thought I could never get on board with. If you listen to my old songs, you can see it's just like all about like someone else. And so it's this kind of realization, like I think I need someone to really be additive to my life for me to kind of bring them on board. And so it's sort of that eureka moment and stepping into that. And from that kind of, I don't know, it's almost like the next two songs, they're short and quite minimal. And they kind of just showed up in a morning together simultaneously. And I view them as sort of like a birth. Like they're coming out whether I want it or not, you know? And they were just like, hi, we're here, lyrics, music, like the soul of the song. It's just presented itself. And I just did that very quickly. But I think that wouldn't have happened without kind of almost like the 9-month pregnancy that Better was. Yeah. And suddenly there's this beautiful thing that happens. I don't know, they just were always so connected to me.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it. Is it a writing style or is it like, I was like, it's like life, death, and then present is how it came to me.
Yeah. Well, there's bits of all of that in those songs. Yeah. And, Harms it speaks very frankly about the harm that was done to me. And it's sort of a song for people who were harmed. And this is specifically like harmed as a baby or as an infant and as a child, the abuses of my past. Kind of just talking about how angry I am about that. I don't think I've ever written about with anger and rage. So that was just like pumping through that song. And then just as that song ends, it kind of just like sweeps into this very loving space. And that's me kind of letting the maternal in me show up and love the little baby who was harmed and the child that was harmed. And so there's a lot of symbiotic love just swirling in and out of those songs together.
Yeah. Another part of that is you talk about personality characteristics of yourself. And it's like, you're like, hey, this is me. And like, if you're going to love me, you have to accept that I have these issues that kind of come up in relationships. And I related to that.
Yeah.
Because like, I have some things every now and then
get in line,
that
babe.
come up. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. And,
yeah.
And I think And for me, it's not even if you're gonna love me, you have to love all of me. It's almost me talking to myself, being like, Johnny boy, you gotta love all of you. You gotta love all of you. And then kind of everything else, I've realized it starts to just kind of there's a domino effect, and the people who, if you're really honoring and just treasuring yourself, people who see that and admire that or want to be around that or are like that, they just kind of gravitate towards you. And the people that can't handle it kind of slowly drift away. It's a kind of organic weeding out.
Yeah.
You know? So
another part of the album is the album cover. And I saw some messages on your Instagram where someone had said something in particular about the picture. Mm-hmm. And you actually answered it and said how we see people's bodies versus male versus female, and how the world responds to it. Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting, and I thought it was really great that you went on there and did that, and people responded to it on there. And how I viewed the photo was, it made me think, it seemed connected to Portamento and that album cover. I don't know if that's you, but I know how you've talked about your past and your upbringing. And for some reason, I saw just a connection between the photos, and I wanted to ask.
That's beautiful. So I'm kind of just putting this together too, as you're saying it. But so that cover, it's I'll describe it for the listening audience. But it is me nude, kind of in a prayerful position on my knees. And where that was taken, it's a self-portrait of me. It was taken in my childhood home when my birth parents were away at church. So I took those around the Portamento era, and there's a whole series of them. I kind of snuck into the house while they were away, set up my tripod, and disrobed, and I put myself in all the different places that were significant as far as traumatic events in my childhood. And I still, when I was doing it, I didn't know why I was doing it. I was just driven to do it, and I was trying to just honor that drive. And when I look back, I feel like there's two things that could be happening there. And one is that there's something quite powerful about just being there naked in a place that was so scary, sort of a type of reclaiming something, a power in these spaces that had so much power over me. And then the other part, which is maybe more concerning, is that maybe there was some Stockholm syndrome as well, that of all the places I could go, and I could walk through the forest nude, I could, whatever. I have a beautiful cabin in the woods. I could have done a series there. But I went back to the place of my abuser and made myself incredibly vulnerable in that space. So I don't have an answer, like a solid answer. And I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it just being what it was and what it is. But in a way, it was like the younger me. There's so much in this album that's like the younger me, the present day me. It's almost like the younger me from back then knew somehow, was like prophetic, was like, this will be a gift for the older Johnny, like these photos, and they just work seamlessly with this new album. So it's like a gift from the little Johnny to me.
Yeah, thank you. I really wanted to know, because I was like, oh, they just look connected or whatever. And it's
same era.
Yeah, it's a great photo for the album.
Thank you.
One more photo I have to ask about. Yes. You have a photo of yourself. It's yellow, and you're standing next to an MS-10.
Yes.
Okay, that's your favorite synth?
That's my baby.
Okay, I had to ask. Yeah. I really wanted to know.
When I was a kid, I found one in a pawn shop for $99. This was like just before analog synthesizers became really hot again. It was like right at the tail end where everyone was still really excited about digital synthesizers and kind of throwing out their analogs. And I have a long-winded story, which I won't tell you today, about I was so broke back then, but I figured out a way to get this synthesizer, and it's been the one synth that I've had. I've just never gotten rid of, and it's on every single drums album, almost every song. And when the band first started and I couldn't afford a bass guitar, I would just use the sub bass on the MS-10 and then play low notes on an electric guitar and kind of blend them together till there was sort of kind of trick your brain into thinking there was a bass guitar being played. So, but I love that synthesizer.
Cool. One last thing. So you're currently on tour with Cold Heart from
Yes.
Gospel Click, and
The sweetest boys in the land.
yeah, shout out to Fishnark, who is
Yeah.
a pal. I wanted to know how that happened. How did you guys meet each other? How did this tour happen?
It's not the most thrilling story. My manager also manages Cold Heart. And Cold Heart used to run around with Lil Peep and all that.
Yeah.
I've got a real thing for Lil Peep.
Yeah, me too.
And so I just love like sad artists.
Yeah.
Like
Obviously, I do too.
if you're sad, I will pay attention.
Yeah.
If you're sad, I'll pay attention. If you're sad and vulnerable about it, I'll
Yeah.
pay attention. So I've always been drawn to people who can express that, and Cold Heart does that. And so I just felt like, why not? Let's do this. And then the big bonus was just how kind-hearted and sweet they are. They're just a joy to be on tour with. And so, hi, Cold Heart. Hope you're listening. Love you.
I really wanted to shout that out because I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
Just a
we do
nice
too.
mix.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time, all of you, for playing to your band.
Yes, they're the
Excellent.
best.
Yeah,
They're the best.
everyone sounds great. So thank you all for
Frank,
here.
Jonny, and Gavin. We love them.
Thank you so much to the drums for taking the time to stop by KEXP and perform live for us. This has been the Drums Live on KEXP. Thank you.
Discover great music at kexp.org.